Hi, my name is Judy Gray. We attend the Overland Park Campus. Some of the areas that we help in, I teach Women of the Word, and we usher. And each day, I pray that God will bring people into my life that I'll be able to encourage. And he answered that prayer in a really cool way a few weeks ago during the whole Chiefs parade and rally. We had gone down to Crown Center and spent the night, so we walked out and waited at the parade for everybody to come by. And after the parade was over, my feet were freezing, so I told John and Gabe to just go to the rally, and I went into Crown Center. When I went into Crown Center, I decided I'd go to Spin Pizza, and I would order a pizza for the guys so when they came back. It was so crowded, and I was amazed that I was able to get through it, but when I was done ordering, I saw that there were a few chairs over to the side, and there was a mom and her sweet little girl there, but there was one chair open. So I sat down in that chair, and I decided I was going to check my blood sugar while I waited for the pizza. I tried to check my blood sugar and kind of bend over so that I wasn't making this little girl uncomfortable, but I noticed that she was leaning over to watch me. Now, I've been a type 1 diabetic for over 40 years, and I don't really feel uncomfortable taking my blood sugar, but I didn't want to make anybody else feel uncomfortable, so I was kind of surprised that she was leaning over. Her mother leaned over and tried to say something to me, and I leaned back and asked her again what she said, and she had told me that her daughter was a type 1 diabetic, that she'd just been diagnosed 2 months ago. It hurt my heart to hear that, and I knew what she was going through, and I asked the little girl how old she was, and she told me she was 8 years old. I began to share with them different ways to navigate type 1 diabetes. We talked for a while, and after a while we cried, and she told me that I was different because I didn't have a child with diabetes, but she did, and that it had to feel a little different. And that's when I started to cry, and I said, well, my youngest was just diagnosed with type 1 diabetes a year and a half ago. So at that point, it was like the whole conversation changed. And I told her how devastated I was and how much I struggled with it. And we talked, and I realized that God had used the pain that I feel so I could know this mother's heart. There in the middle of hundreds of people, God had arranged a divine appointment. I asked her if I could pray with her, and she said, please. After we prayed, the sweet little girl asked me if she could show me her diabetic supplies. She took her blood sugar, and it was low, so I asked her if she wanted some of my fruit snacks. She said yes, so I gave her one. At that point, I was pretty overwhelmed, and I told them goodbye, and that God could bless them and use them and would be with them. As I walked away, I felt like I'd been on holy ground, that God had used my pain as a mom of a child with diabetes to comfort, to encourage another mom with a child that had diabetes, that God had showed me that I would never have known her heart or understand her without my own pain. So in the midst of thousands of people in the sea of red everywhere in Crown Center, that day I'm sure God was smiling when he chose that one open seat for me to sit on in Spin Pizza. I'm not sure who was more blessed.